Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the books I've read in 2021 and how I feel about them. So I'm going to give a short explanation or something special about the book, and I'm going to share my rating that I put on Goodreads. If you want to check my Goodreads, it's in the description below. I write reviews and I rate all of my books. So let's get started. The first book I read I think around May was The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I gave this book 4 stars. At the time, I really liked it. Greek mythology isn't something I'm very interested in, as I have it at school, and it kind of reminds me of school, so it wasn't my favourite. Now I would put it down to 3 stars, but at the time I really enjoyed it, and if I were to read it again, I would rate it lower. I did tab it a tiny bit, but yeah, it was very overhyped for me because of TikTok, but still very well written, but the topics inside weren't really of my liking. Then I read the Folk of the Air series. I read The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and The Queen of Nothing. I started reading fantasy, and now I'm not really into fantasy, so I would also probably give it a different rating. But what I rated it on Goodreads was The Cruel Prince 4 stars, The Wicked King 5 stars, and The Queen of Nothing 5 stars. I very quickly gave these 5 stars without really thinking about it, but I just keep it on my Goodreads, and if I were to ever read it again, we will see if it will change. But for now, 4 and 5 stars. The books I read next, the Twilight series. I love Twilight, so I rated these quite high. But yeah, we have Twilight, I rated 4 stars. You can see how much I love it from how much I've tabbed it. But Twilight 4 stars, New Moon 5 stars, and Eclipse 4.5. I'm reading Breaking Dawn at this moment, so probably be so I will finish it in 2022. But yeah, I love Twilight. I love the movies. I'm a big fan. So reading the books was a must for me when I started reading again, and I love them. Then I read After. I started After in 2020, but I stopped halfway because I just didn't like it. I finished it this year and I hated it. I gave it 2 stars. Not my type of romance. It was too much for me, basically. It was too much in all the wrong places, basically. So I'll not be continuing the series. So yeah, 2 stars. Then my favourite book of all time, Sally Rooney's Normal People. I gave this, of course, 5 stars. I love Sally Rooney's writing. This is a great book. I love it. It's short. It's full of character. It's a great book. I really, really recommend reading Sally Rooney. Let's see, then I read Nashville Neighborhood series. I read 2. I read The Doctor and The Poor Boy. The Doctor I gave 4 stars, Poor Boy 3 stars. New adult, erotic fiction. I quite enjoyed the books. Yeah. Let's see, then I read One of Us Is Next. I read One of Us Is Lying 2 years ago, I think, and One of Us Is Next is the next one in the series. I kind of enjoyed it, but it's young adult, so it didn't really hit for me. That's why I gave it 3 stars, but still a great series if you're starting out with reading. It's a very fun and captivating book, so I do recommend it, but for me it didn't really hit the mark. Then I read The Lost Apothecary. I read The Lost Apothecary with my book club, and I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It's a very special story. And it was something new and interesting, and I really recommend it if you're looking for a more serious book. Then we have the Off-Campus series. I love the Off-Campus series so much. I've read 3 of them at the moment. So I read The Deal, The Mistake, and The Score. The Gore I'm reading at the moment, so I will finish it probably in a few days. The Deal I gave 4 stars, The Mistake 4 stars, and The Score 4 stars. So let's see if this will be a 5-star or another 4-star, but I do really, really enjoy it, and Elle Kennedy did a great job with the characters. The next book I read was The Great Gatsby. I gave this 3 stars. I had to read this for school and have a Socratic examiner about it. I did quite enjoy it. I gave it 3 stars, which is still pretty good for me. It was just very hard to get through, and after watching the movie, I understood the book way better and I could read it more easily. So 3 stars, but still a good book. Then I read Punk 57. Punk 57 was a 4-star for me. Really enjoyed it. Don't actually know why I didn't give it 5 stars. Probably didn't really feel the need to give it 5 stars at the time. But yeah, great book. Very, very fun. And read it very quickly. Next book, Neon Gods. I gave Neon Gods 3 stars. It was okay. It wasn't anything special. It was quite extreme. You could probably read about it on my Goodreads. Then I read Call Me By Your Name. Call Me By Your Name I gave 3 stars. I enjoyed it, but I don't understand how there can be a sequel with how the book was laid out. It was okay. I liked the movie way more, but the book was fine. Credence I gave 4 stars. I really enjoyed Credence. It was a very interesting concept, and I just love Penelope Douglas's writing, so 4 stars. Then I read The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. This is 0.5 of the series, so this isn't actually the start of the series. These are just short stories as a kind of intro to the series. I enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars, even though I'm not a big fantasy person. And I probably won't continue it, maybe, if I'm in the mood. But this was quite slow to get through, in my opinion. But I still gave it 4 stars because it was a good story. Then I read Mr. Salary by Sally Rooney. This is a very short story, like 30 pages, 5 stars, perfection. I love her. Then I read Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice, I gave it 3 stars. I'm a very big fan of the movie, but this just didn't really, it didn't hit what I expected, but still big respect for the book. You can see I did fold a lot of pages because it was a very captivating book, but very different from the movies, which I didn't expect. But still, good classic. Then I read After Dark by Murakami. I love this book, 5 stars. This is such a good book. It's a short read. It's the time span is 1 night, and it's so well done, and the translation is very good as well. 5 stars. I really want to continue reading Murakami next year. Then I read Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. I didn't like this at all. 2 stars. You can read on my Goodreads when I've thought about this, because I could ramble about this book for ages. It was absolutely horrible, but still, no, it just wasn't for me. 2 stars. And then the last book I read, Desperate Measures. Desperate Measures, I give it 3 stars. A fun, spicy book. It wasn't anything special. It's an Aladdin retelling, I think, but you don't really notice it. But yeah, 3 stars is fine. So the books I'm reading at the moment are Breaking Dawn and The Gore. So yeah, I'm really intrigued to see what 2022 has in store for me, reading-wise, and I would love to hear about your guys' opinions on the books I've read, and if you agree with me or not. I'm intrigued to see. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and see you later. Bye.